really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Very quiet.
Okay.
Of illustration of our work during this week, in my view, because it was about the growth of slavery. It was musical, in fact, very well done by a Catalonian singer composer from the Savant, and it was really a fabulous concept about the abyssal line between humans and non-humans, in this case the slaves, from 15th century until 19th century and continuing today. So I found that very, very interesting. Okay, so let's start. There would be a moment initially conducted by you. Music, art, poetry. I'm all ears.
Well, I can't stop. Vou embora para casar. Vá com o amigo do rei. Tenho a mulher que eu quero, na cama que eu escolherei. Vou embora para casar. Vou embora para casar. Aqui eu não sou feliz. Lá existência uma aventura de tão mal inconsciente que Joana, outro de Espanha, ainda falso de mente, venha a ser concorrente da nora que eu nunca tive. E como para a ginástica, darei de bicicleta, montarei de bravo, subirei de calceiro, como a levei de. E quando estiver cansado, deito na beira do rio, mando chamar mãe d'água para me contar histórias que no tempo de menino, Rosa vinha me contar. Vou embora para Passar. Em Passar, durante tudo tem. É outra civilização, tem um processo seguro de impedir a concepção de que um telefone automático tenha o calor de vontade, tem prostitutas bonitas pra gente namorar. E quando eu estiver triste, mais triste de não ter jeito, quando de noite me der a vontade de me matar, lá sou amigo do rei. Terei a mulher que eu quero, na cama que eu escolherei. Vou embora para Passar.
Muito bem.
We have like the sound of this only a song. It's only a song, and it is a very, very beautiful story behind it, because salsa is, although salsa comes from a very colonial language and from New York and from Cuba and so on. Salsa is very important in Colombia, specifically in Cali, because it represents popular culture and it represents so to speak, not so to speak, it represents really the resistance of the oppressed people of beyond the African line, in the sense that salsa became a historical process of identity, the way in which they construct their sociability, grounded on enjoy the life, enjoy the music, and resist the pressure, resist the poverty, the lack of opportunity, but preserving the happiness of enjoying the music. And the song that we have in mind is very beautiful, because it is a song, first of all, it's a song from the Grupo Nietzsche, it is from Cali, Colombia, and it's a song it's called Sky Drums, Cielo de Tambores, and it's the story of the suffering, it's more or less the suffering and the frustrations of the slavery, and it's a very sensitive story in which the women and the family of the slaves, even though they are massacred, even though they are carrying this portrait of the slavery, they have in their minds and in their hearts the having of the drums, and it reminds me a very wonderful quote in my mind that Africa is in our drums, and Africa is to some extent and to a large extent, Africa and this suffering is in our drums. And when we perform the drums, one could feel this sensation, because it's something historical, and it's something which, as you said, something feeling and touchable. It's very sensitive.
The name is Patía, and the name is the Historia del Patía. Dice así. Si la historia patiana vamos ahora a contar, de su pasado de incautos y versos vamos a hablar. Cuando los negros esclavos que se quisieron proteger, al palenque del castillo debieron entender. A ese apartado lugar llegaron los cimarrones para poblar el Patía con todas sus ilusiones. A la orilla de este río el negro hizo su casa para vivir más tranquilo y regar sus calabazas. Sembró plátanos, maíz y yuca en sus terruños. Con el sudor de su frente hizo más fuerte su empuño. Todas las noches cantaba su desazón a la luna, y el manzanillo creó con su llanto una laguna. Sin un Dios en quien creer, con el diablo se pactaron. Tuvieron plata y poder, y así nunca más lloraron. El diablo da muchas cosas con interés y con calma, pero después de un buen tiempo le arrebataría su alma. Peleó con los indígenas el derecho a la tierra, pues él era bravo y era bravo este negro para el machete y para la guerra. Y el gran valle del Patía, tierra de negros quedó, de negros en libertad toda la tierra se pobló.
Muy bien.
Speech for everybody drinks mate. We drink it all the time. We drink it at work. We drink it when we are together with friends. We just basically drink it everywhere. And I know that, well, the people from Uruguay drink it even more because they drink it on the streets, and in Argentina we don't feel it so practical to be all the time on the street holding our mate, but if we are sitting and quiet with people, we share this drink. So I think the special thing about mate is that we share it. Like people, I have brought mate to meetings with the people from other parts of the world, and they were like, okay, but how do you drink that? And I say, you just put water. Here inside is the yerba mate. You put water into it and you just drink it here, like this. And they would ask, do you share that?
I want to.
And I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I've been doing this my whole life, and it's okay, nobody dies because of sharing mate. So I invite you to drink mate and to think that if you wanna do field work, if you wanna talk to people in Argentina, you cannot reject drinking mate. Like, it's not an option saying, I don't like mate. So, just, this is our example of our epistemologies of the South, and it's something that you cannot miss if you want to know about people from Argentina. So, Professor?
Yeah. Now this is the proof who is in favor of epistemology of the South and who is against. What a test.
So you said said you were studying something from Argentina, so you have to drink mate.
See? Very good. Very good. Go on.
Ready?
Sit, and then two coolest mean grow. And this is one of the famous poem by him. He was activist against Suharto authoritarian regime in Indonesia, who ruled Indonesia for 32 years. And then Suharto fell down in 1998. And he was one of the call it like an artist to promoting the protest. And then at the time he was kidnapped, and then until now he still disappeared. So this is a story of him, and the poem titled Bunga dan Tembok, which means flower and
Tembok. Tumpama bunga, kami adalah bunga yang tak kau kehendaki tumbuh. Engkau lebih suka mengganggu rumah dan merampas tanah. Seumpama bunga, kami adalah bunga jantan kau kehendaki andalnya.
Engkau lebih suka membangun halan raya dan pagar besi. Seumpama bunga, kami adalah bunga yang dirontokan di bumi kami sendiri. Jika kami bunga, engkau adalah tembok itu, tapi di tubuh tembok itu telah kami serba biji-biji. Suatu saat kami akan tumbuh bersama dengan keyakinan engkau harus hancur dalam keyakinan kami dimanapun tirani harus tumbang. For my interview.
That's good. Perfect.
You read in Indonesian.
I'll read it in
Oh, the language of Indonesian.
There is
But it was Indonesian, but I...
Seumpama bunga, kami adalah bunga yang tak kau kehendaki tumbuh. Engkau lebih suka membangun rumah dan merampas tanah. Seumpama bunga, kami adalah bunga yang tak kau kehendaki, adalah bunga yang dirontokkan di bumi kami sendiri. Jika kami bunga, engkau adalah tembok itu, tapi itu tubuh tembok itu telah kami sebar biji-biji. Suatu saat kami akan tumbuh bersama. Dengan keyakinan engkau harus hancur. Dalam keyakinan kami, dimanapun tirani harus tumbang.
With that, and Jansen will read something related with the peace talks in Nahuatl.
Okay. Firma con la paz orto destino. Ruego que a todos cobije, pero más al campesino. Cuen de todas las violencias. Es el que más ha sufrido. La paz es la más hermosa criatura del mañana, y por eso yo la abrigo con mi ruana espiritual y mi ruana de lana, como brillo el armadillo en luz largo caminar, todo cabe un bolsillo sabiéndolo acomodar. Y si el bolsillo es Colombia, todos cabernos en paz.
You have to be there, you have to. I get all my powers from you.
Ay, quiero llorar.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. No borders. Not yet. Not yet. No borders.
Not yet.
No more.
Not yet. Not yet.
Wow. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No borders.
Yes, no border.
Not yet.
Not yet, emergency.
Not yet.
Wow.
No borders.
Come.
No borders. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So, not yet.
Because Michael, I'm almost crying also.
Yes, definitely.
A red verse. Red here is a metaphor of revolution and of change. É urgente um verso vermelho que suspende a animação deste desastre, pensado para durar depois do inverno. É urgente um verso vermelho com todas as cores do arco-íris e o vento natural do universo. É urgente um verso vermelho que ponha de novo em movimento os comboios da imaginação, o azeite puro em manivelas de razão quente, o peso da história de novo levíssimo, o rodar sobre perguntas livres e ruínas vivas, a paisagem a mudar primeiro lentamente, enquanto vão entrando vozes ainda submersas, e corpos mal refeitos da desfiguração, da guerra e do comércio, das crateras e das promoções. É urgente um verso vermelho que desata os nós da memória e do medo e resgata os rios da rebeldia, a palavra cristalina e inabalável, inconfundível, das mordaças sonoras à venda nos supermercados da ordem. É urgente um verso vermelho para anunciar um barco polifónico de dignidade, pronto a navegar os rios libertos das barragens calcinadas dos sistemas de irrigação industrial da alma. É urgente um verso vermelho, uma luz manual portátil que vá connosco, sem esperar que virá no fundo do túnel que há de vir, porque a cegueira da viagem é sempre mais perigosa que a da chegada. Talvez só a entrega, talvez só paragem. É urgente um verso vermelho, um vinho de bom ano para acompanhar os sonhos sãos e saborosos, preparados em brasas de raiva e a brisa da alegria. É urgente um verso vermelho sem solenidades nem códigos especiais, para devolver as cores ao mundo e deixar combinar com a criatividade própria dos vendavais.
And the poem is called Apart from the Revolution. Each drop of blood a rose shall be, your sorrow shall be dust, blown by breezes to the sea, whose fingers thrust into the corners of the restless night, where creatures of the deep avoid the flashing harbour lights in search of endless sleep. There were executions, somebody had to pay. Apart from the revolution, it's another working day. A million angels sing, peasants eating cake. Wedding bells are ringing, the room begins to shake. The children free from measles all have healthy teeth and gums. They live in the cathedrals and worship in the slums. Poverty and pollution have all swept away. Apart from the revolution, it's another working day.
Good.
Well, and the story, it is about the relationship between humans and the nature. They say that he says that we are stardust, we are coming from the stardust, and then we have to coexist with nature because we are an inherent part of it. I'm going to read it. I found it in English, so later I will read it in English. Izarren hautsa denboran zehar bilakatu zen bizigai, materialen ordenamenduz noizbait ginen handik ernai. Eta horrela, bizitzen gera, sortuz eta sortuz gure aukera, atsedenik hartu gabe, lanaren bidez goaz aurrera. Kate horretan, denok batera, lurrari loturik gaude. Gizakiak du ingurune bat menperatzeko premia. Borroka hortan bizi da eta hori du bere egia. Ekin bilatzen ditu, saiatze hortan ezin gelditu. Araua eta agia, bide berriak legez aurkitu. Bizilegeak minez erditu, hortan jokatuz bizia. Gizonen lana jakintza dugu, ezagutuz aldatzea. Naturarekin bat izan eta harremanetan sartzea. Eta indarrak sakon errotuz, gure sustraia lurrari lotuz. Bertatikan irautea, ezaren gudaz baietza sortuz. Ukazioa legetzat hartuz beti aurrera joatea. Gu sortu ginen, enbor beretik sortuko dira besteak. Heriotzaren ukazioa diren ardazka gazteak. Beren aukeren jabe eraikiz eta erortzean berriro heikiz. Ibiltzen joanen direnak, gertakizunen indar eta argiz. Gure ametsa arrazoi garbiz egiztatuko denak. Eta ametsa zilegiztatuz egiaren antzirudi. Herri zahar batek bide berritik ekingo dio urduri. Guztien lana guztien esku jasoko dugu zuzen eta prestu. Gure bizitzen edergai diru sakarrak bihotzek ez du. Lotuko dugu gogor eta ez du az ez dadin gizonen gai. This is in Basque, and I would like to read to you in English because I think the content is it's really nice. No? One day, stardust became light. From that dust, suddenly, at some point, we awoke. And that's how we carry on, relentless, creating our own things. Without rest, we keep on to work, all firmly bound together in that chain. From the same trunk we were born, others will emerge. Young branches that will carry on in that struggle, becoming masters of their own fate, and having fallen, rising again. Those that will walk through the power and brilliance of actions, those that will transform our dreams through pure reason. And transforming dreams into the form of truth, and all people will, through new ways, face up to its touch. Through everyone's toil and support, they will receive firm and upright the water of life. Dirty money afflicts the heart. They will control it firmly and tightly, so it never overpowers them. That's it.
Good.
Convencido, no te sientas esclavo ni a un esclavo. Trémulo de pavor, piénsate bravo y arremete feroz ya marendo. Del entezón del clavo enmohecido, que ya viejo y ruin vuelve a ser clavo. No la cobarde estupidez del pavo que amaina su plumaje al primer ruido. Procede como Dios que nunca llora, o como Lucifer que nunca reza, o como el roedor cuya grandeza necesita el agua, pero no la implora. Que muerde y vocifere vengadora, ya rodando en el polvo tu cabeza.
Turn on the music, which was composed by Henryk Mikołaj Górecki. The most popular composers from Poland is Chopin with the French surname, or Szymanowski. But we also have very good, in my opinion, nowadays contemporary Polish composer. So he was a self-educated person, and he died in 2010. But I don't want to focus on the composer. I want to focus on small part of his music, mainly the Symphony Number 3, which is also known as a Symphony of Sorrowful Songs. In Polish, it's Symfonia Pieśń Żałosnych. So each of the parts of this whole symphony during 1 hour, and this have 3 parts. And every of these parts is related with another Polish text. The first coming from 15th century, and it's about Polish lament of Mary, the mother of Jesus. And the second is a message which was written on the wall in Gestapo, in the Gestapo prison. And the third one is related with the Silesian folk song about mothers seeking the son who died in Silesian uprising. But what is important here that the dominant themes in this symphony is a suffer, is a loss, is a suffer because of separation caused by the war. And it's also about spirituality and about need to open our lives, to open our brains for the suffering of another human being. And this part is related with our history, I mean the Second World War, that many of people not only died, but also they lost their families. But I probably should use the loudspeakers. Sorrowful Songs, the Symphony of Sorrowful Songs, is the experience of the lack of hope, experience of the suffering, and also some kind of another hope that we can be better society for each other. But yeah, it's about suffering after the war, because all the time when we're talking about political struggles, we forget that behind that we have all the time human beings. And it's really thin line between this political struggle, which have possibility to transform into a really big war or something like that. So yeah, that's good.
No, this is a really good and deep song. Not like Despacito. Anyway, Despacito represents all of reality, but the case of Puerto Rico is a very complex one. If we extrapolate the discussion we were having yesterday about how, in order for law to be emancipatory, we need constitutions that are anti-patriarchal, anti-capitalist, and anti-colonialism, and that is extremely far of Puerto Rico's reality. We have been a colony since 1493, and we still are a colony, now under the U.S. regime. So the song that I am going to play, it represents the cross from the IISL line. This is specifically about race. During the Spanish colonialism in Puerto Rico, well, the registration of the people that they were born, it was recorded by the church. So black people, or pardos, which is the mix between white, black, and indigenous, were recorded, separated within another book that was not the white one. And this song, it's named Del Libro de Pardos a El Libro de Blancos, is the move from that book of the black and the pardos to one of the white one. And this change, it talks about how a black woman, a parda, is going to get married to a white man. It is bomba, which is it's a typical music from Puerto Rico, from the African heritage. And we can extrapolate this cross from the IISL line to many other things. Later on in the group, we're going to be talking about another phenomenon that we have in Puerto Rico, which is the criminalization of poverty. And that's something that represents a cross as well. So this is a song to think about gender, this is a song to think about class, about race, and about a lot of things that here, maybe in Europe, you're above that, but that is a reality that's still very strong in Puerto Rico. So I hope you like this song. Okay. Aquí no es. De acá. Y ahora. Aquí ya.
it basically first explains how East Berlin is, and it explains that they made a lot of steps, what's great about the socialism, but it also explains the downfall about, you live in fear there, you're afraid to speak up your actual opinion, there are walls that keep you inside. And then he makes in the chorus, the story that basically only birds, he says, they are free to fly over the wall, they're the only ones. And he came up with this idea actually by a dog. He said he visited Checkpoint Charlie, and he says, like, they were so strict at getting people in and out, and he says that then he just saw a dog walking like it was nothing. So he said, like, the comparison that only birds and animals basically were free to, change between the West and the East and vice versa. That made a very big impact on him. And then in the second verse, he basically talks about West Berlin, where they are free, but he says, what do you have with this freedom if you can't afford this freedom? If you have the freedom to demonstrate, but you have tons of reasons to demonstrate it, you can barely have enough money to stand on. So he doesn't choose a side. It's very beautiful to see the ups and downs of the East and the ups and downs of the West. And he said, and only the birds have the freedom to actually go from the West to the East and to the East from the West without any constraints on that. So they're only true free in that sense. Yeah, I'll read it now in Dutch, but at least you know what it says in English. Oost-Berlijn, 110 linten. Er wandelen mensen langs vlaggen en vaandels, waar Lenin en Marx nog steeds op een voetstuk staan. En iedereen werkt, hamers en sikkels, terwijl in paradepas de wachtwoord verwisselt. 40 jaar socialisme, er is in die tijd veel bereikt. Maar wat is nou die heilstaat als er muren omheen staan? Als je bang en voorzichtig met je mening moet omgaan. Ach, wat is nou die heilstaat? Zeg mij, wat is die waard? Wanneer iemand die afwijkt voor gek wordt verklaard. En alleen de vogels die vliegen van Oost naar West-Berlijn worden niet teruggefloten en ook niet neergeschoten. Over de muur, over het ijzeren gordijn. Omdat ze soms in het westen, maar soms ook in het oosten willen zijn. West-Berlijn, de Kurfürstendam. Er wandelen mensen langs porno- en piepshows, waar Mercedes en cola nog steeds op hun voetstuk staan. En de neonreclames die glitterend lokken. Kom dansen, kom eten, kom zuipen, kom gokken. Dat is nou 40 jaar vrijheid. Er is in die tijd veel bereikt. Maar wat is nou die vrijheid zonder huis en zonder baan? Zoveel Turken in Kreuzberg die amper kunnen bestaan. Goed, je mag demonstreren, maar met je rug tegen de muur. En alleen als je geld hebt, dan is de vrijheid niet duur. En de vogels die vliegen van West naar Oost-Berlijn, die worden niet teruggefloten en ook niet neergeschoten. Over de muur, over het ijzeren gordijn. Omdat ze soms in het oosten, maar soms ook in het westen willen zijn. Omdat dat brood ligt soms bij de Gedächtniskirche en soms ook op het Alexanderplein.
Next. Maybe I'm not going to read that.
Maybe we can play
that. For me, it's I told you guys already. It's very special to be here in the Basque Country. I was telling you that Oñati was a familiar name to me, and I didn't know why. And I remember my elementary classes, and the person who found the city that I am from, Guadalajara, it was Cristóbal de Oñati. So it was from here. So it's a special thing. So also the relationship between Mexico and Spain during the Republican times, it was very special because the General Lázaro Cárdenas received with open arms a lot of Republican exiled refugees. So thinking in that and the situation now that we share 3,000 kilometers with the US is not an easy thing to do. I want to honor like the opportunity to be here because we as Latin Americans have like 3 roots. The indigenous, of course, the Spaniard, and we cannot forget that sometimes they did it, you know, with the colonization with the sword and the cross in a difficult way. but are part of us, and also many times we forgot the Afro-descendant root, but it is in there. So I have I really like to read and try to understand what happened in the Republic here in Spain. And I was checking the Federico Garcia Lorca poems, and also I'm not pretty sure of what political ideas, but also they say that he had some special sexual preference, so he was murdered. And there is also a movie with Andy Garcia, you can check it out online. So when he was in New York, he wrote some poems. So it's special because he, as an outsider, being in New York, it was difficult. And after he traveled to New York, he went to La Habana. And well, you can check like his biography, but I want to read some part of, it says, Danza de la Muerte, the dance of the dead. So pretty much there is some feelings of how he felt in New York. I'm pretty sure my Boricua friend is going to understand that very well, but I'm going to read it, of course, in Spanish as to honor the opportunity to be here in Spain and the Basque Country and all that. So it has been a hard session, very, so I hope I can do it. Danza de la Muerte. El mascarón, mirad el mascarón, cómo viene del África a Nueva York. Se fueron los árboles de la pimienta, los pequeños botones de fósforo, se fueron los camellos de carne desgarrada y los valles de luz que el cisne levantaba con el pico. Era el momento de las cosas secas, de la espiga en el ojo y el gato laminado, del óxido de hierro de los grandes puentes y el definitivo silencio del corcho. Era la reunión, la gran reunión de los animales muertos, traspasados por las espadas de la luz, la alegría eterna del hipopótamo con las pezuñas de ceniza y de la gacela con una siempre viva en la garganta. En la marchita soledad sin onda, el abollado mascarón danzaba. Medio lado del mundo era de arena, mercurio y sol dormido el otro medio. El mascarón, mirad el mascarón, arena, caimán y miedo sobre Nueva York. Desfiladeros de cal aprisionaban un cielo vacío, donde sonaban las voces de los que mueren bajo el guano, un cielo mondado y puro, idéntico a sí mismo, con el bozo y lirio agudo de sus montañas invisibles. Acabó con los más leves tallitos del canto y se fue al diluvio empaquetado de la savia, a través del descanso de los últimos desfiles, levantando con el rabo pedazos de espejos. Cuando el chino lloraba en el tejado, sin encontrar el desnudo de su mujer, y el director del banco observando el manómetro que mide el cruel silencio de la moneda, el mascarón llegaba a Wall Street. No es extraño para la danza este columbario que pone los ojos amarillos. De la esfinge a la caja de caudales hay un hilo tenso que atraviesa el corazón de todos los niños pobres. El ímpetu primitivo baila con el ímpetu mecánico, ignorantes en su frenesí de la luz original. Porque si la rueda olvida su fórmula, ya puede cantar desnuda con las manadas de caballos. Y si una llama quema los helados proyectos, el cielo tendrá que huir ante el tumulto de las ventanas. No es extraño este sitio para la danza, yo lo digo. El mascarón bailará entre columnas de sangre y de números, entre huracanes de oro y gemidos de obreros parados que aullarán noche oscura por tu tiempo sin luces. Oh salvaje Norteamérica, oh impúdica, oh salvaje tendida en la frontera de la nieve. El mascarón, mirad el mascarón, que ola de fango y luciérnagas sobre Nueva York. Yo estaba en la terraza luchando con la luna. Enjambres de ventanas acribillaban un muslo de la noche. En mis ojos bebían las dulces vacas de los cielos y las brisas de largos remos golpeaban los cenicientos cristales de Broadway. La gota de sangre buscaba la luz de la yema del astro para fingir una muerte semilla de manzana. El aire de la llanura empujado por los pastores temblaba con un miedo de moluscos sin concha. Pero no son los muertos los que bailan, estoy seguro. Los muertos están embebidos, devorando sus propias manos. Son los otros los que bailan con el mascarón y su vihuela. Son los otros los borrachos de plata, los hombres fríos, los que crecen en el cruce de los mulos y llamas duras, los que buscan la lombriz en el paisaje de las escaleras, los que beben en el banco lágrimas de niña muerta, o los que comen por las esquinas diminutas pirámides de palma. Que no baile el papa, no, que no baile el papa ni el rey, ni el millonario de dientes azules, ni las bailarinas secas de las catedrales, ni constructores, ni esmeraldas, ni locos, ni sodomitas, solo este mascarón de vieja escarlatina, solo este mascarón. Que ya las cobras silbarán por los últimos pisos, que ya las ortigas estremecerán patios y terrazas, que ya la bolsa será una pirámide de musgo, que ya vendrán lianas después de los fusiles, y pronto, muy pronto, Wall Street, el mascarón. Mirad el mascarón, como escupe veneno de bosque por la angustia imperfecta de Nueva York. December 1929.
Very interesting because, as you know, Mexico, as many other countries, is a very sexist country. So she played a lot with her poems and her stories in satire. How do you say satire?
Satire.
In satire, to try to make fun of that. So she has a book called Mujer que sabe latín, because there's a popular saying in Mexico, well, around Latin America, that is, mujer que sabe latín no tiene marido ni buen fin. So in English it means like woman that knows Latin will end without a husband and without a good end. This means like if you're a smart woman, you'll be left alone. So it was better to
Get along.
yeah. Or for them it was better to try to not look smart so you wouldn't end one. So there's a short story in satire of this. I'm gonna read it in Spanish. I couldn't find it in English, but it says. Una mañana, el marido vuelve a su cabaña después de varias horas de pesca y decide dormir una siesta. Aunque no conoce bien el lago, la mujer decide salir en la lancha. Se mete el agua adentro, ancla y lee un libro. Viene un guardián en su lancha, se acerca a la mujer y dice: «Buenos días, señora, ¿qué está haciendo?» «Leyendo un libro», responde ella, pensando, ¿no es obvio? «Está en zona restringida para pescar», le informa él. «Disculpe, oficial, pero no estoy pescando, estoy leyendo». «Sí, pero tiene todo el equipo, por lo que veo, podría empezar en cualquier momento. Tendré que llevarla y detenerla». «Si hace eso, lo tendré que acusar de abuso sexual», dice la mujer. «Pero ni siquiera la toqué», dice el guardia. «Es cierto, pero tiene todo el equipo, por lo que veo, podría empezar en cualquier momento».
Wow.
Disculpe, que tenga un buen día, señor.
Wow. It was amazing.
No, it was next.
The lancha, the boat of the husband, and she put it in the lake and she started reading. And a guard came and told her like, excuse me, but this is prohibited zone to fishing. And she was like, I'm not fishing, I'm just reading. The guard said, yeah, but you have all the equipment to fish, so you could start at any moment. And I need to take you. And she said like, well, if you do that, I'm gonna say that you're sexually abusive. And the man said like, I didn't even touch you. She said, yeah, but you have all the equipment. You can start.
I love it.
For regime, so I want to say that first in French colonialism, French imposed so much tax, even the tax on being human being. If you are a person, you have to pay tax. So they have during French colonialism, nobody have clothes in a house, so they have only one scarf, the typical scarf. So if anyone want to get out of the house, they use the scarf to cover their body. So, and even in Pol Pot regime, we are allowed to own one set of clothes and one scarf to represent as a peasant. and my parents still using the scarf, but I'm using towel right now. And there is so many use, even like to carry babies, to cook, to cover from the hot, the suns during farming. So the video will be explained by a Cambodian tour guide, and it was taken by a tourist, and it went viral in the internet. So I will try to search in YouTube.
And then maybe you need to plug the cable that's next to your nutty. That was the one I used for you.
Yeah, for the clean bag. This is all tradition. And when the man is stay at home, this the lady. And take a shower like this. This whole tradition when you see the show tonight in the Paris Elephant and the King. When the Russian take a lot of statue from Paris Elephant. Many Russian take a couple of when you go to the Buddhist school or what the pagoda, you do like this. This is for the ceremony festival, ceremony. And my mother take a baby in a hammock here, for run so fast during the war fighting. So 1979 years, you know, my hometown, no school, no blood, no bread. We put the rice inside the sack and then tie in and put the rice under the water, spoil. And then we dig the ground, put the rice inside the ground, and you burn it, and you burn the fire on the top. Well done rice. Nothing to do with your cooking, and then stop there. It is very good sweat, and take a shower. This is stuff raw, so important, so useful for daily life. Very important stuff. All old people, they stay at home, or go to like this. So my mother take a big lucky, big rye on there and put it in because he's selling rye pot on the roadside. Untidy until now. So this is very important when working there also. Oh, so many stuff. Chroma stuff. Now just stop 12 years, 13 years Cambodia. Very happy to see tourists. More and more tourists come. Cambodia. Over 500 years, fighting every direction. 35 million, 13th century. But when the French colonized 1863, around half million. 1863. 1975, 8 million. And 1981, around 4 million people left. And now I'm 44 years old. I have 3 children. I call monkey, 1 daughter, 2 sons. So Siem Reap is 99% within tourists. Angkor Wat. This is very tradition. So this is a 5 years ago shopping gallery and the children hospital, Switzerland, and this is Sofitel 5-star with the French. And this is other galleries and other hotel.
Good.